So up next, let's define our window so that we can actually see things as quickly as possible. This is SFML specific. Got nothing to do with physics simulations or anything just yet. The namespace that we're dealing with is SF, like we saw here with this vector. Then we need a render window. That's a type. I'll just call this window, and it takes in a few arguments. So the first one is this video mode, and then a string for the title. And this is actually the constructor that I'll go for. So we need an SF video mode. And this one also takes in some values. It takes in the width and the height in a vector form. I'm not seeing what it needs, but we can just pass in a vector here. And then I'll actually create some more const expressions up here. So I'll make this an unsigned value. It's going to be my height in pixels. Make that 800. I have another one here, const expression unsigned width in pixels. I actually want to keep these things separate. So we'll have our width as 800 and the height as 600 pixels. So we can pass this in width in pixels and height in pixels. So that does it for that. The video mode is also finished, and then I just need a string for the title. So we're making a Pong clone. The next thing I have here is to set the frame rate limit. I'll cap it at 60, and now we need to write our game loop. So this is simply just a while loop that runs for as long as we haven't closed it yet. So we can have a while loop. The window has an isOpen method here. So this will be true for as long as we don't close the window. Then we'll have a window.clear, and we can specify an SF color for that. This comes from the SF color type. And then there's a whole bunch of constants on here already that we can use. So these are predefined colors that we can use for this. Then we'll draw stuff after we clear it. And then finally, we need to tell the window to display all of the things that we drew to its back buffers, right? So if we draw things, then it's going to put it in some area in memory. And when we call display, it'll take that area of memory and then put it onto our display here. Before we run this code, though, I want some way to close this program. Like if I click on the close button up here, it should close the program, terminate the whole thing. So here we say while the window is open, now I need to capture any events from this window. So there is actually a facility for this. I'll have a const. This is going to be a standard optional type of SF event. I'll just call this event, and we can get this by saying window.poll event. And this needs to be a while loop, so it'll continuously poll this for a bit, and then it will display this. It's dependent on the frame rate that you have up here as well. Then we can have some if statements here. So if the event on this optional type, there is a method called is, and we can pass in some type here. And in this case, the type is going to be the SF event closed. And that's it. It returns a Boolean to tell us if this event is this thing. If that's the case, we can simply say window.close here. So if I run this, I should see a window. There we go. It says Pong clone, and we can close it here. And that's it. Now we have our window.